Recording Studio.
Welcome. It's Tuesday night. It's another night of Game Fix. I'm Spanish, joined by Verlaine. That's up. And Link.
What's going on?
We do this every Tuesday night. Please follow us on Twitter at Game Fix Show. Also Facebook, facebook.com/GameFixShow. And we've kind of had a crazy day of video games for sure. The Xbox One was revealed from Microsoft rather. And we're gonna talk about it, and we actually have a guest this week. We got him Skyped in, Eric Boosman from Tonic.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's new, man?
Xbox One is new. Are you kidding?
Yeah, right. It's been crazy. I know you've been kind of reading up on it, and we kind of want to hear your take on that. Is this something that an indie developer like yourself is excited for? Something that you could look forward to?
It's an interesting question because Microsoft obviously didn't really say much about it at their press conference. Anything
Right.
Specifically that would affect indies. What we can do is maybe look at what the Xbox did originally for indies and how they've sort of treated them in the store with the Xbox Live, indie game section, and sort of extrapolate maybe what they're going to do in the future. There are some interesting things, though, that Microsoft announced. One of the things is specifically, they talked about the used game trading, basically that when you purchase a new boxed game, you'll have to enter a key online that locks your console to that game. And
Right.
if you take it to a friend's house, you can install the game, but they will have to pay for a brand new copy of the game, which is pretty uncool.
Yeah.
That was a really nice way of putting it.
But it's still a step. It's still a step better than what there is now.
This is what I like about it, though. This is the thing that's kind of interesting, is they say, we are going to make a way, this is Phil Harrison said, we're going to make a way for you to sell your games, your used games, online. So you'll actually be able to transfer your key, but you'll be selling it through Microsoft. So basically they're like cutting GameStop out of the whole equation for used games. And, if they're going to run the store, they're going to get the profit off of it. I think that's really interesting. Whether any of that goes to, back to publishers or, developers, is probably not really highly likely, but I think it's a really interesting play from them.
Do you think that'll work the other way around? Like, do you think that because once GameStop realizes that Xbox isn't going to support them, that they're going to stop supporting Xbox?
How could they?
Yeah, that's a valid point.
I mean, how could GameStop say, "Oh no, I'm not gonna stock Xbox stuff"?
Well, something interesting I actually read up on it. It's funny you mentioned GameStop. I I looked at GameStop stock, and right after that was over, no more than 10 minutes later, it was down 2%.
Wow.
So, I mean, if that isn't substantial, at least in that little frame of time, I don't know what is. I mean, that is something that probably scares a place like GameStop, or even like rentals, Redbox, anything like that. So I don't even know how they're going to work that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we'll see. There's, along with that is the promise of cloud gaming, which I think is actually really interesting, where they say, you'll be able to instantly start playing games and not have to really save them locally on your system. And so, at any point you can just play any of your library of games, instantly start playing them, is what they say.
Right, with like voice activated, yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the whole other thing. The whole announcement was basically, look at this interesting entertainment device for your living room. There's very little about games
Right.
until
Until
the very end, when it was, you can
they only
shoot some
released
people
a
in the
few
face.
games. What we saw, I mean, the first one they showed, which I thought was kind of odd, was FIFA. They went straight for the sports games. You don't necessarily see that too often. I mean, take for instance, PlayStation. Their first games they put out there. I mean, we're talking like Killzone. I'm pretty sure that was the first one they showed. And that game itself is so hard hitting. It made me wonder, like, why would they go with a sports game? But then they read that they have a deal with the NFL.
Yeah.
And this deal makes you, like, I would imagine you could probably get the NFL ticket at some point. They didn't really say that, but it's kind of obvious.
Right.
But from what I saw, I don't know. It just looks like, well, I don't know what.
Yeah, but okay, PlayStation about 3 years ago, they sent out a survey, pretty much targeting interest in digital rentals like they do with their movies. And they ask questions like, would you pay a monthly fee to download 3 games, keep them as long as you want? You know what I'm saying? And then they're deleted from your system. Do you think that would make up for it? Because I think GameStop in general did it to themselves by ripping people off so bad and not giving anyone else the cut.
I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, I used to trade in my games constantly back when it was still Electronics Boutique.
Yeah.
I would make a monthly, or even maybe every other week. I'd be going in there, and I'd pick up 5-6 games in a month because you actually got a decent amount of money back from it.
Right.
But now $2, $5 or something like that for a brand new AAA title is it doesn't make any sense at all.
I bought a PlayStation 3 there for $100, but because there was a customer that wanted to sell it, and they actually offered the guy like $60 for it.
And did you just go right to the guy and be like,
I went to
I'll
the
give you
guy.
$75?
Yeah, and then the rep was like, hey, you can't do that here. You got to go out there. I'm like, come here, I'll give you 100 cash right now.
Exactly.
But I mean, it's because
cool.
of that. I mean, you go in and sell anything, and it's ridiculous, and it's not even like they're reselling it at the price they're buying, and that's the killer. That's when you sell a brand new game, get $20 less than you paid for it, yet they're only making $5 less. I mean, what do they expect to do?
I mean, I understand that they've got rent to pay and salaries and all that stuff, so they need to make a cut. But how big of a cut is it? I don't know. And I know that used games just became like their main bread and butter revenue. So I don't know, but going back to the PlayStation 4, I think the PS4, the early press conference, that was really a lot for the gamers, wasn't it? And when you look at the Xbox, it seems like that announcement today was a little bit more for the shareholders, and trying to show their strategy for, trying to continue to dominate the living room as opposed to doing something for the gamers. So I'm hoping at E3 they're going to talk a little bit more about, their actual game strategy.
Yeah.
Could they have? You think maybe this whole reveal was kind of just fueled by PlayStation and their pretty much lack of actually getting into the system as much? Because everybody knows E3's coming out. Once PlayStation announces the holiday release, all of a sudden Microsoft's revealing it. They're telling you right away what they're revealing, and they actually reveal it.
I think that's an interesting idea. I don't know how likely that is because Microsoft is a pretty big company. Everything is done fairly deliberately through many, many meetings. And so the strategy for this, I assume, was planned out, last year sometime. So it's hard to say, if there was some reaction in there. I kind of doubt it.
Okay. Well, yeah, the games that they talked about, I got Madden, of course. Again, another sport.
Madden 25.
Yeah.
I mean, how old are we now?
Right, exactly. Yeah, makes you feel old, doesn't it? You're like, oh, wow.
Pat Summerall died.
Why are we laughing?
I don't know, because he's right. Then NBA Live, which by the way, it looks like Kyrie Irving might be the face of the new game.
Yeah.
Our Cleveland's own very own Kyrie Irving, but
yeah, he's gonna be traded.
Yeah, that means the game's probably gonna suck. you ever played the Madden with the Browns with Peyton Hillis on the front? Yeah, neither did anyone else.
Right.
But,
I mean, speaking of the NFL, though, I did think that the whole, ESPN watching football and then having your fantasy football stats update.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
Real
I've
time.
mentioned
that was
why.
really cool.
It's brilliant, but that doesn't make me want to. Okay, let me just come out and say it. I am not impressed with the Xbox One. I don't even like the way it looks, to be honest with you. And I'm not an Xbox hater. I have an Xbox 360. I also have a PS3, but I don't know. For some reason, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like the angle they were presenting this was more of I don't know,
So what if they bust out with a bunch of awesome, if E3 is going to be nothing but the games?
And if that's the case, and they come out and they impress me, they have to impress me, because at this point I'm not. Because everything they've come up with, and they said, oh yeah, you could Skype with the Kinect. I don't even care about that. Don't get me wrong.
You can do that now.
Yeah, we could do that now. And it's like, well, come on, give me a game. The reason why I'd buy an Xbox was because of the video games. Because as well as we all are gamers, and I'm not getting on my Xbox and looking up stats to it. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Can we assume that Call of Duty, along with Forza, is going to be launch title?
Yeah, Forza Motorsports.
Yeah.
That's a launch for sure, but there's no reason.
What do you think?
That is it.
Yeah, what'd you think of the Forza Motorsport reveal?
I thought it looked really good. I mean,
you're a big car guy.
To say, how much of that was actually game footage?
Yeah.
Right.
None of it. It's all some pre-rendered video, but I mean, clearly they put in some real cool effects. I'm a racing guy,
right.
So I paid real close attention to that stuff. And if the in-game models come out like that, and the in-game materials, like the metallic flake paint was really, really nice. But that's all stuff that we actually already saw from that Drive Club, I think it's called, for PlayStation 4.
Midnight Club.
So yeah, I don't know that it's
Midnight Club, I believe.
Okay.
No, it's the new one coming out for PlayStation. It is called something like Drive Club. It's kind of a weird name.
Okay.
But talking about the stuff that they really were pushing with the games, the big reveal, is with the Kinect features, and they seem to be really pushing that. And on the one hand, the system looks like it's going to be really great. I mean, it's obviously so much better than Kinect in every single way. The question in my mind, though, is, do gamers care? gamers actually want to play those kind of games still, because the best games that I played on Kinect, how often do I actually want to play those?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I for one, dude, I'm too lazy to play on a Kinect. Like I don't want to
That's
do
the
jumping
thing,
jack
isn't
and
it?
stuff. I want to sit down, have a beer, and shoot some terrorists.
Yeah, well, Kinect will be able to determine exactly what angle you're holding your beer at as you are bring it back.
That's a heck of a game. I'd definitely buy that.
There'll be a Coors app that tells you whether or not it's cold.
We could play that here, right? We could do that, right?
Yeah.
Why not?
Many achievements are
right.
won that way.
Well, all right, Eric. Well, we don't want to keep you too much longer, but at the beginning of the show, we played a trailer of Wall Street Titan. Why don't you tell us about this game and why it's so fun? Because personally, I do think it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, so everybody likes to just squash stuff. You go up in a tall building or you're on the airplane and you see the world full of tiny things and you just kind of want to squash it. I don't know. I do anyways.
In between
Maybe
your
that's
fingers,
just me.
that head thing.
Yeah, like squish your head. I squish your head.
That's right. So, the game was originally built for that type of experience. We looked at a touchscreen device, figured what's fun ways that you could interact with it. And, there's tapping and swiping, and we don't really care much for on-screen D-pads and buttons and things. So, we try to come up with a really good, solid touchscreen experience and then built a game on that. And, we tied it into a little bit of the Occupy movement that was happening, some stuff that was kind of important to us, and just try to make a fun game around all of that, which sounds like an odd combination, and it absolutely is. But the game itself, I think, is a blast. It's really actually pretty deep gameplay with some nice strategies for setting up combos and using the big giant robot shield to, block attacks and counterattack these big super smashes and lots of power-ups. And I mean, you saw the video; it's crazy stuff in there. So we released on iOS the free version of it last month, which was really cool. We've done pretty well there, and just released the Android version.
That's right.
Last
That's
week,
the
which
big.
people have been asking for forever.
Yep. Me being one, because I do have the Android phone.
And what's amazing is in the last just like 2 days, we've had more downloads on Android than we have since launching on iOS.
That's great.
So
That's great.
It's great. It seems like Android's the really the right spot for it. People on Android are hungry for quality games. There's a lot of subpar games. Let's put it nicely out there, and I think that users really they can tell a quality game when they play it. So the response has been really good. We had some bugs in the initial version, so any Android users out there that they grabbed it and have ads popping up in funny places where it seems like they're not supposed to, like in the middle of your game, grab the new build off of Google Play and that'll take care of that.
Okay.
We sorted that out today, actually.
Well, that's good. That's good to know.
Anything new coming out?
We have a game. We put a teaser image in our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/darktonicgames, and that image is kind of like a Bomberman meets Legend of Zelda / Indiana Jones thing, and that's about the best way I can describe it. It's kind of a turn-based maze adventure game, and that's going to be pretty fun. It's going to be iOS and Android, and we're looking to get that out by, let's see, what month is it now?
It's May.
End of June is what we're looking at.
That's great.
So, that's going to be cool. And we talked to Nintendo Live, so a big announcement is we just were approved as official Nintendo developers and also for PlayStation Mobile, which is awesome. So we really want to put Attack of the Wall Street Titan on PlayStation Mobile on the Vita. It looks great on the screen, but
so you've seen
we're
it
sort
on
of
the
at the
screen.
mercy of Unity for that.
You've seen it on the screen then?
Well, yeah, I mean through YouTube. So
Okay.
we've running the HD video off of YouTube
Hey,
on
speaking
on
of,
there. I mean, it's fantastic for the screen.
Okay.
So yeah, we're definitely excited about the possibilities there. But like I say, we're sort of waiting for Unity to release the exporter for that platform. Just like Verlaine was asking for, Windows Phone 7, which is a no-go from Unity. Windows Phone 8, they said, yeah, they're supporting it, but it's still not out, that exporter. So um, anyway, so with the Nintendo thing, we've got another game coming up. As soon as that the adventure game is released, we're going to be full force on something else, which we're planning on taking to the Wii U. And so stay tuned for more on that.
Very cool.
You're talking a full-size game.
Yeah, we're talking something serious now.
Nice.
It's going to have to be built in stages, but yeah, like full, like big console release. It's to be on the eShop for Wii U,
Okay.
but it will be a big, awesome, gnarly experience.
Very cool.
so how do you feel about the recent Nintendo statement that they control ad revenue to all Nintendo games that are played on YouTube?
Yeah, I haven't read into that too much. I think it's interesting. I can see the argument from both sides. From the users, they're like, well, we're basically giving you free advertisement.
Mhm.
And from Nintendo's side, well, you wouldn't be able to create your videos of any value without our IP, or you'd have to be using somebody else's IP. I guess in a way that's not cool. In order to generate the money that you're making from your ads, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's a legitimate beef from them. I understand why the users are unhappy about it, but it is their IP. So I think it's tough. I don't have if I was a judge just from the very little bit that I know about the case, it's I would award on the side of Nintendo on this one.
Yeah, because I mean, you can watch a gameplay video of an entire game, and you'd have no reason to buy it if you want a game for its storyline.
Yeah, I guess that's true, and in fact, I've done that with some of the games you know like Assassin's Creed 2, where I just couldn't get all the way through the whole game. Just go, okay, what did I miss?
Right.
Yeah,
Catch up on the story, and then move on to the next one.
Well, hey, as long as somebody else is paying for it, I don't care what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, Eric, we'll leave you at that. We won't keep you any longer. Thank you for your time. You're always pretty knowledgeable with with well, anything else you wanna pimp out here?
No, I mean, I think I pretty well covered it. That's good. Thanks for having me on, guys. It's always a pleasure.
All right, man. Well, we'll talk to you again.
Sounds good.
See you, Eric.
Later.
There you go.
Bye, guys.
All right. So what you just heard, that was Eric Boosman from Dark Tonic Studios. They please go. If you have your Android, you have iPhone or iPad, go to like the iOS or go to Google Play and download Wall Street Titan. You want to get that. It's free. You can't beat the price. So
Didn't you mention something about Google Play too?
yeah, well that's on the Android. Google Play.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, that's right. You have a Windows phone. You don't know.
Yeah,
you
I'm
don't know.
clueless.
Yeah.